Hello Airs, this is GM Cidd, here with another episode of Cidd's Epic 7 101. This video aims to provide our players with a little bit more information and demonstration of in-game stuff that our players could use as a reference as they adventure through the World of Orbis. In this episode, we're going to find out how our hero's turn is determined in battle, followed by a demonstration part showcasing teams with a heavy focus on counter-attacking. When a battle begins, all participants in battle will randomly receive 5% combat readiness. After that, all of the participants' combat readiness will increase proportional to their speed stat, and the first hero who achieved 100% combat readiness will take their turn. When someone takes a turn, either the ally or the enemy, all participants will gain combat readiness proportional to their speed. If there are multiple characters with 100% combat readiness, the one who has a higher combat readiness will go first. Regardless of how much combat readiness they had, once a character takes a turn, their combat readiness is reduced to 0. This process continues until the end of the battle. Aside from the combat readiness increase from the speed stat, combat readiness can also be increased or decreased due to various skill effects and artifact effects. These changes in combat readiness are mentioned in the skill description and artifact description. For instance, let's say a skill is used that decreases the enemy's combat readiness by 10%, and the enemy is currently at 70% combat readiness. Using this skill on this enemy will decrease the enemy's combat readiness to 60%. Then that enemy will gain combat readiness based on their speed, since someone, the attacking hero, just took a turn. Notice how the attacked monster has 10% less combat readiness compared to its ally, despite being the same exact monster. Now, if you want to coordinate your team so that the heroes in your team act in a special order, you might want to watch out for the 5% random combat readiness that is applied at the start of every battle. Because of this, sometimes a hero with less speed may act first, even when there's no combat readiness increase activated. If the order of action is important for the team that you are planning to use, make sure that the hero you want to act first has a much higher speed stat, as this 5% random combat readiness may influence the order of action. Additionally, be sure to keep your eyes on any skills or artifacts that can increase or decrease the combat readiness of your team. That's it for this week's guide part. Stay tuned for the demonstration part, where we bring to life the suggestions from our heirs. Well, one request we received only mentioned using Kali, but this idea inspired us to go above and beyond. Here, we have a team that has gone all out on counter-attacking mechanisms. This time we went for all 4 and 5-star heroes and artifacts with high-level equipment to see how many counterattacks we can land. Now, when everything's ready and under a decent scenario,
there is no escape! How dare you!
Let's start with something light.
ouch! That Chaos Sect axe sure paid for that attack, but I understand that not every player will have all these 4 and 5-star Moonlight heroes. Even GM Cidd and his colleagues don't have all these heroes in order to attempt this counterattack team. Does that mean those of you who do not have these heroes can't have fun? Of course not. We tried to find a good alternative to recreate this tactic using more common heroes, and here it is. Given that you've been playing Epic 7 for a while, it's highly likely that you have access to most, if not all, these heroes. Some members of this alternative team actually have a counterattack buff built into their kit, so it's slightly less reliant on luck too.
Cheer up!
Sure, it might not look as fancy compared to the team we introduced earlier, but there you go. That was quite a wave of counterattacks, and only after the enemy landed a single attack. I hope you are satisfied with this demo. And that's it for this week's episode. I hope you liked it. I also hope the demo part gave you some inspiration to try something new. Make sure to subscribe to our channel so you can be one of the first to see all of our new content. See you all later.